Some plants have developed astonishing survival mechanisms that allow them to survive in the most unforgiving environments. For today's video, I'm covering 15 incredible plants with unbelievable survival mechanisms. Let's start with number 15, the Venus flytrap. I love the Venus flytrap, but at first glance, it looks like something out of a science fiction movie, with jaws that snap shut on unsuspecting prey. Yet this carnivorous plant is very much real and has existed for millions of years. Found in the humid areas of the Carolinas in the United States, this plant is one of over 500 species of carnivorous plants, and it's evolved to thrive in nutrient-poor soil by developing a remarkable ability to lure, capture, and digest insects. Now, the flytrap's lure is far from subtle. Like many flowering plants that attract insects for pollination, the flytrap secretes a sweet nectar that entices bugs to land on the leaves. This sugary scent beckons insects into what seems like a harmless meal. If prey is too large, however, the plant can't form a proper seal, allowing bacteria to invade. When this happens, the trap will blacken and die. But this sacrifice doesn't threaten the entire plant. Venus flytraps can afford to lose a few traps because new ones will sprout, ready for their next meal. Interestingly, each trap only has a lifespan of about 10 to 12 uses, and after these, it retires from the hunt, focusing its remaining energy on photosynthesis. Number 14, Welwitschia. Endemic to Namibia and Angola, Welwitschia has become the stuff of legend, not just because of its unusual appearance, but because of its astonishing ability to survive in one of the harshest environments. It's known as a living fossil. Welwitschia is an ancient relic from a bygone era, and it shows no signs of letting go. It's been around for thousands of years. Some individuals are believed to be over 1,500 years old, and it still thrives today, surviving where few others can. Its genetics closely resemble those of its ancient ancestors. Earning it its ability to endure is nothing short of miraculous. The harsh conditions here would quickly wither most other living things, yet Welwitschia not only survives, it thrives. Over thousands of years, this plant has evolved the perfect combination of simplicity and adaptation to defend itself from anything nature throws at it. Number 13, the strangler fig. Found in tropical regions across the world, the strangler fig has mastered the art of taking over its environment by exploiting other trees. It's not a parasite in the strict sense. Strangler figs are fully capable of photosynthesis, but its survival strategy is pretty brutal. By slowly engulfing the host tree, strangler figs ensures its own growth and, eventually, its host's demise. This is a prime example of how, in nature, the best defense is often a good offense. The life of a strangler fig begins high in the canopy of a host tree, far above the forest floor. Its journey starts as a tiny, sticky seed, deposited by a bird bat over it. The roots thicken and fuse together, wrapping around the host tree's trunk like a suffocating cage. The lattice of roots eventually forms a nearly impenetrable sheath, covering the host tree entirely. Now, while the strangler fig is not parasitic in the strict sense, it produces its own food through photosynthesis, its presence is anything but benign. The host tree's canopy is overshadowed by the fig's growing foliage, and its own roots are forced to compete with the ever-expanding root system of the fig. In time, the host tree's access to sunlight, water, and nutrients is reduced, leaving it weaker and more vulnerable. The strangler fig's roots constrict the host tree's trunk, further squeezing the life from it. This relentless stranglehold can lead to the host tree's eventual death. Number 12, sundew. The sundew is a carnivorous plant, one that's evolved to eat bugs in order to compensate for the nutrient-poor environments in which it lives. Its unique adaptation to a hostile ecosystem means that it's very insects. Its leaves are equipped with gland-tipped trichomes, these tiny plant hairs that exude a sticky, glistening substance resembling dew. This substance is what gives the sundew its name, but also its primary hunting tool. Insects are drawn to this glistening dew, mistaking it for water, but once they touch it, they're trapped. The sticky tentacles wrap around the prey, encasing it in a web-like structure. And despite its insect-eating tendencies, the sundew doesn't gain energy from the bugs that it catches. Instead, it uses the nutrients from its prey, particularly nitrogen, to make up what the poor soil cannot provide. Once the insect is caught, the sundew wastes no time. Plants begin to curl inwards, slowly engulfing the meal. Enzymes are then secreted to break down the prey, allowing the sundew to extract the nitrogen and other vital nutrients it needs. And what remains of the insect, now nothing more than an empty shell, is left behind, and the leaf unfurls, ready to begin the hunt again. Number 11. Hydnora africana. hydnora structures known as suckers on its stem, which penetrate the roots of its host plant, drawing out vital juices to sustain itself. The lack of roots and leaves allows the plant to conserve water, a crucial adaptation in the desert. Now, the majority of the plant's existence is hidden from sight, with the only visible feature being its striking flower, which bursts forth from the ground. This process takes about a year from bud to bloom, during which time the plant develops a shockingly pink flower. The bloom is both beautiful and grotesque, capturing the attention of pollinators while simultaneously functioning as a sophisticated trap. Once the flower has matured, it releases an overwhelming odor reminiscent of rotting meat, a scent that draws carrion flies and dung beetles, which mistake the flower for a decaying carcass. Upon entering the flower's chamber, the unsuspecting insects encounter hairy fringes that bend inward, effectively preventing their escape. The interior of the flower is designed to be smooth and slippery, coated with a waxy substance that humid climate, making it a popular feature in landscape settings throughout the region. It can be found primarily in South America, including Brazil, Argentina, Paraguay, but it also has established a presence in southern Florida. These trees thrive in subtropical and tropical environments, often found in open woodlands along roadsides and in gardens, where their striking appearance can truly shine. The tree may evoke images of softness and beauty, particularly with its large cotton-like seed pods that resemble silk. It possesses a surprisingly formidable defense mechanism. The trunk of the tree is covered in large conical thorns that serve as a deterrent to herbivores and other animals that might attempt to climb or gnaw on its bark. These thorns are a fascinating evolutionary trait thought to be a remnant from an era when large mammals such as giant ground sloths roamed the earth. While its blossoms are a sight to behold, the presence of these intimidating thick thorns remind us that appearances can be deceiving. The tree's beauty doesn't mean it's defenseless though. Instead, it's through a specialized mechanism known as a pitfall trap. The key to the pitcher plant's survival lies in its modified leaves, which form deep cup-shaped traps filled with digestive liquid. These traps are often adorned with vibrant colors, including anthocyanin pigments, and are sweetened with nectar to attract unsuspecting prey, primarily insects such as flies, ants, and other small arthropods. The rim of the pitcher, known as the peristome, is particularly slippery when moistened, increasing the likelihood of insects losing their footing and falling in below. Many species have evolved specialized features to enhance their prey-capturing abilities. For instance, some pitcher plants exhibit patterns of ultraviolet coloration that are invisible to humans but highly attractive to insects. Others may employ camouflage to blend in with their surroundings to trap prey that approaches. Once an insect falls into the trap, it becomes submerged in the digestive liquid, which is a mixture of water, enzymes, and sometimes beneficial bacteria. The plant secretes enzymes that break down the insect's body, converting it into a succulent plant belonging to the ice plant family, Azioaceae. Native to the arid regions of southern Africa, these remarkable plants have evolved a unique survival strategy. Lithops consist of one or more pairs of bulbous, nearly fused leaves that grow opposite each other with very little visible stem. The leaves are primarily buried in the soil with a partially or completed translucent top surface known as a leaf window that allows sunlight to penetrate for photosynthesis. Now, the most striking feature of lithops is their remarkable coloration and patterning. The leaves are fenestrated and exhibit a variety of hues, including shades of cream, gray, and brown, often adorned with darker spots, dots, and red lines. By mimicking the appearance of stones, these plants can evade detection by herbivores that might otherwise be tempted to snack on them. The primary defense mechanism of these lithops lie in their ability to camouflage themselves as stones. The adaptation has evolved over time as a response to their environment, where the risk of predation is a constant threat. In California, this cactus has earned its sinister nickname from its unique appearance and growth pattern. While most cacti are known for standing tall and being still in the harsh desert landscape, the creeping devil is constantly on the move, a trait that sets it apart from its upright relatives. Unlike the typical column or towering cacti, the creeping devil lies flat against the ground, with its long column body creeping horizontally. These stems can grow up to 6.5 feet or about 2 meters in length, but rarely exceed a height of around 8 to 12 inches, about 20 to 30 centimeters. Its creeping behavior comes from the way that it grows at one end, while the opposite end gradually dies off. This growth habit has earned it the nickname creeping devil, and the scientific name eruca, meaning caterpillar. The spines on this thing can measure several inches in length and are arranged in clusters, making the cactus one of the spikiest in the world. While most cacti have spines for protection, the sheer density and sharpness of the creeping devil's spines makes it particularly hazardous. The number of ability to capture and digest small aquatic invertebrates using specialized traps. These traps are submerged, giving the rise to the common name, which can be found in lakes, ponds, and slow-moving streams, typically in warm conditions with temperatures above 68 degrees Fahrenheit. Its adaptations allow it to supplement its nutrient intake, which is critical for survival in these habitats. In addition, it can reutilize nutrients from decaying parts of itself, enhancing its ability to thrive in low-nutrient waters. This plant is one of the few species capable of rapid movement. The traps are equipped with fine trigger hairs located at their base, which respond to the slightest movement. This mechanism is vital for ensuring that only genuine prey triggers the trap's closure. The closing process is really swift, occurring in as little as 10 to 20 milliseconds, making it one of the fastest movements in the plant kingdom. However, not all prey is guaranteed to be captured. Some faster-moving organisms can escape the trap's grasp, illustrating the ongoing evolutionary arms race between its extreme toxicity. Every part of monkshood is highly poisonous, with the roots being especially potent. While its bright hooded flowers are admired in gardens and meadows, monkshood's dangerous nature has earned it a place in the darker annals of history. Flowering in late summer or early autumn, monkshood is used as an ornamental plant, though it requires careful handling due to the toxicity. Its roots, leaves, and stems, and even the nectar can cause severe poisoning if ingested or even touched without protection. The lethal nature of monkshood is not incidental, it is a survival strategy. It produces a range of toxic alkaloids, primarily aconitine, which is one of the most potent plant toxins known. Aconitine disrupts the nervous system by interfering with sodium ion channels and causes symptoms such as nausea, vomiting, burning sensations, paralysis, and eventually death. Monkshood's nature has been exploited by various cultures throughout its history. Its roots were used to create deadly concoctions for hunting, warfare, and even assassination. In Alaska, the elusive species of flowering plants in the nightshade family. It's renowned for its large, pendulous flowers that resemble a trumpet, often producing a powerful, sweet fragrance. Native to South America, this plant has found its place in gardens around the world due to its ornamental appeal. Yet beneath the striking beauty lies a lethal danger. Angel's trumpet is one of the most toxic plants in existence. In the wild, Angel's trumpet is a plant you'll pretty much no longer find. According to the ICUN Red List, all species of this are officially listed as extinct in the wild. Now, the disappearance of this seed-dispersing animal, likely now an extinct mammal or bird, is believed to have caused the plant's extinction in its native habitats. Angel's trumpet grows as a large woody shrub or small tree, often reaching heights of up to 20 feet. Its flowers, which would hang downward like large trumpets, could reach lengths of 10 to 20 inches and come in a variety of colors, white, pink, and orange. The plant contains a group of highly toxic tropane alkaloids, which are responsible for its dangerous effect. It could lead to a rapid heart rate, tremors, and in severe cases, respiratory failure and death. The plant's toxic effects can take hold swiftly, and even a small dose can go a long way. Number 3. Titan Arum. The Titan Arum, better known as the corpse flower, holds a unique place in the plant kingdom. Towering at over 10 feet tall during its bloom, it's got the largest unbranched inflorescence in the world. Its name, Amorphophallus, is derived from Greek, meaning misshapen phallus, a reference to the plant's enormous central spike or spadix. This botanical giant is native to the rainforests of Sumatra, Indonesia, where it grows in tropical undergrowth. It thrives in the shaded environment of the tropical rainforest there and requires a stable climate with constant heat and humidity. Today, the plant can be found in botanical gardens and conservatories around the world, where it draws crowds whenever it blooms due to its rarity and its size. The Titan Arum has a fascinating and unusual life cycle. The plant, during this time, it opens up in an outer sheath that resembles a dark burgundy petal around a central spadix. At full bloom, the Titan Arum stands at over 10 feet tall, its spathe deeply furrowed and blood red, mimicking the appearance of rotted flesh. But its most shocking characteristic isn't its size or its color, it's the stench. Chemical analysis of the plant's scent reveal a cocktail of offensive smells: dimethyl trisulfide, which smells like Limburger cheese, trimethylalamine, akin to rotting fish, and isobaric acid isn't that far off from sweaty gym socks. Well, once insects are lured inside, they inadvertently spread pollen as they move between male and female flowers, aiding in the reproduction of the plant. The odor, while repulsive to many creatures, including most animals and humans, is a signal of opportunity for carrion-eating insects. These creatures are not only unfazed by the smell, but actively seek it out as a sign of food or a place to lay eggs. For the Titanarum, this grotesque partnership ensures that it can reproduce in an environment where other flowers are pretty scarce, and the cobra lily is no exception. What makes it unique is its ability to survive in environments that are more arid than the typical habitats of other pitcher plants. Its root system allows the plant to regulate the water levels inside its pitchers, a feature that's vital to its survival in such rough conditions. It lures and traps insects in these specialized leaves or pitchers. However, unlike other pitcher plants, it doesn't rely on rainwater to fill them. Instead, it absorbs water through its roots and regulates the water level within the trap. Those tubular, cobra-like leaves are its primary weapon in trapping prey. Insects are drawn inside by the plant's colorful leaves and nectar. Once inside, the insect encounters a series of obstacles that make escape nearly impossible. The curled hood of the pitcher plant plays a critical role in trapping the insects by concealing the exit. This hood also creates multiple translucent false exits, also confusing the insect. The plant's hooded pitcher and translucent false exits also serve as a form of defense. These features regions such as Central and South America, the Amazon rainforest, and parts of the Caribbean. This tree is infamous for its explosive seed dispersal and treacherous defense mechanism. Standing tall in its rainforest environment, this tree can grow to an impressive 130 feet in height, with a straight trunk covered in triangular spikes. These spikes, resembling natural barbs, aren't just for show. Their sharpness is more than enough to deter most animals, and even humans, from attempting to climb it, hence the nickname Monkey No Climb. In the densely populated tropical forests, where the competition for light and space is pretty fierce, these spikes also serve to keep competing plants at bay, further solidifying their dominance. Now, while the spikes alone would make the tree pretty notable, it's the fruit of this tree that has earned it the title of dynamite tree. The fruit, a round, pumpkin-shaped capsule, is one of the most dangerous features of the tree. When the fruit ripens and dries out, it becomes an explosive seed dispersal mechanism.